Just gonna do it. Okay, I'm kind of testing this now. Um, Here we go. Okay. This is going to be a routine live stream. Today is Friday, the 6th of December, 2024, and I'm going to start us off here today. Actually, I was just seeing if I could get the live stream going on this channel. This channel is going to be exclusively instruction that is directly from military riders or instructors or schools. To start us off, I'm going to be doing a routine lecture to get us through year one of the U.S. Manual 1935. I will put a link in the description. If you want this printed out copy of it, you can order it from Amazon. And there's also a link. This manual is public domain. It became public domain post-World War II. I think it became public domain as soon as mechanization happened, which was right around the time of Pearl Harbor. We only use the 1935 manual. I think I will explain why in a separate lecture. But it's very important that we use pre-World War II instructions when the cavalry was key before mechanization of the U.S. Armed Forces. Okay, now, and I'm also going to, anyway, the entire manual, this is year one sections that I've separated out because the whole thing's a little, it needed to be cut into sections to be able to digest it well. I will put a link for the entire manual in the description of this live stream. It's just a link. But listen to me, we're going to go through the manual in an or not in chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4. And here's why. The manual's wonderful, but all of these manuals were sort of cobbled together between the wars with many cooks stirring the pot, and they were never really finished. Plus, they can contain, I'm reading my own foreword. This is in my foreword of the book. Plus, they contain some unfortunately phrased portions that could become pitfalls. So we've got to ride through these wisely. And these manuals, because we also trained from Sommer and Vorendorf in Vienna, that was written by Colonel Podolsky. These manuals are also the kind of thing that really only makes sense once you already know the whole thing. And then you're like, oh, yeah, of course. But how do you then know the whole thing? Well, a good way is to digest the instructions assembled. So that's what I've organized. And so I'll list the order that we're going to go in the description. But today, I just want to touch on section 22. Pretty roughly, we're going to go section 22, and then we're going to go back to section 14 through 17, and then we'll go back to finish section 22 and go through to section 58. Then we'll do chapter 2, which comes before all of that stuff, which is the section on the rider's seat. But I think I think the instructions for the seat will be better better imparted after the important features of the trained horse are understood. Okay, so today I'm just going to talk about, I may only talk about the first paragraph of section 22. What time is it? I don't know what time I started. I don't want to go on too long. Section 22. This is the section on the education of the horse. And the reason why I believe it's the important section to begin with is because it defines what a trained, educated horse is. Okay, training. Chapter 3, training, section 22, general. The trained horse is one that understands the rider's intentions, that's number 1, from the slightest indications, and 2, immediately responds to them with exactness, lightness, and energy. In other words, he's sensitive to the leg and light on the hand. It means he's automatic, and it means he's literate in the language of riding, which is a language of sensations known as the 4 natural aids. So that is what we are supposed to make. We're supposed to make this automatic, immediate, super immediate, automatic now response, precision, exactness, lightness, and energy. All his forces are gathered for our use at will in precise ratios. Okay. Now, should I open this little can of worms in the next paragraph? I think I'm going to open the can of worms, but I think I'm going to save the can of worms to finish off another time. And the next sentence tells us training, because I'm talking about trained horses. I'm not talking about started horses or broke horses that have just begun or that can bear a ride or that can do a couple things. I'm talking about trained horses, finished, made horses, which means they know this manual, section 14 through section 49 minimum. I think they should know all the definitions in the back, and I know all the definitions in the back, and everyone I teach can do everything in the back of the book too. But bare minimum is sections 40 through 49. Okay, that's training. Training and education is distinguished from the breaking in period in that during the breaking period or the starting period, acclimatization and physical development, these are baby horses, are of the utmost importance. And the rider must at this time, this brief time, this kindergarten time, that's just a few months, at this time, the rider must make many concessions to the young animal. However, during the training period, which is a different period, the horse must learn to submit to the demands of the rider and must give him complete obedience. So that's the line that needs to be drawn and has become very vague. And a lot of half quasi cowboys have made a lot of money dwelling in the breaking in or start phase of a horse's life. But that's only meant to be about maybe, well, Prussia said 3 weeks to 3 months. I know a fantastic cowboy who says 120 days on the outside. There's a terrible problem in that people have not moved on, and they are calling a started horse a trained one. And that is not the case, because the trained horse is one that understands any rider, not just the rider they know, The trained horse is one that understands the rider's intentions from slight indications and immediately responds to them with exactness, lightness, and energy. In other words, he is sensitive to the leg and light on the hand, and he can for sure do sections 14 through 49. Okay. We'll do section 14 next week or next time I see you. I think that might be on Tuesday. I'm not sure of the schedule I'm going to keep with this